In every new release of Adobe Photoshop, there are great new features. But in this edition of the Russell Brown Show, I'm going to be demonstrating a feature that is downright unbelievable. And it's called Content-Aware Scaling. Now, we all remember the old days when you scaled an image as you see here, and it would squeeze everything down just like this. That's no good. Welcome to the future. Content-Aware Scaling. Under the Edit menu and down to Content-Aware Scale. Now, once again, I scale this image just like this. It's automatically detecting the areas of complexity within this image and only squeezing the areas of least complexity. Wow! That is incredible. Not only can I control this by selecting this control point here on the right-hand edge, I can also select the control point here on the top. Notice that it's avoiding the golfers again and only squeezing the sky. If I push this a little bit farther, it starts to squeeze the areas of the grass. So what's going on here? If we take a look at this diagram I've created right here, this overlay, you can see that when I use this tool on a horizontal squeeze, it looks at the areas between the golfers and squeezes those areas in but protects the golfers. And if I do a vertical scale, it of course looks at the sky first, and then it moves down to the grass and again protecting the golfers. Now, when you turn this feature on, as I'm doing now, up here in the options bar, you can also select this icon, which will automatically protect skin tones. Not only that, if I scale this image down a bit, right like this, then go to this other feature here, this amount setting, you can set the threshold for the content-aware scaling. Thus, I can click on this, zoom this down here to 0, and this would be then the old days of just squeezing the image. And then slowly moving this up, you can start to blend in this new content-aware scaling into your squeeze. And then end up here at 100% right there. Fantastic. But the real power to adjusting these comes from this feature right here, Protect. So let's now take on a project where we want to protect a certain portion of an image. And in this case, I want to protect the upper portion of this image, the golfers and the sky, and only adjust the grass. To do that, I'm going to go over here to my Channels tabbed panel right here. Then I'm going to go over and make a selection with my Marquee tool here. I want to select the portion of the image that I want to protect, and it's this area right there. I want to go up here to the options bar and click on Refine Edge right here, because I know I can get my best results by just feathering this selection just a little bit. I can adjust the feathering here until it softens it a little bit, and then click OK. Now going down here to the base of the Channels tabbed panel, I click on this icon to create an alpha channel, in this case alpha 4, just like that. If I now click on this alpha 4 right here, I'm going to reveal my image as you see here. I'm going to deselect my selection and point out something very important. As you can see, the white area here is going to be protected, and the region covered by black will be the area that you can adjust. Okay, let's now go back to my original image here, make sure it's targeted. Then let's bring back up the content-aware scale right here from my Edit menu. And let's start to scale this, but let's scale this with our Protect Alpha channel on. Going up here to the options bar, I select it right there. So now, if I start to adjust this, and in fact I'm going to zoom back out a little so we can see this. If I adjust this and pull this down, wow, I'm pulling down on the grass, but the rest of the image is protected. The same is true if I click on the top and push down. Notice you can see that the upper portion is being protected and the lower portion is being adjusted. Unbelievable. Okay, let's apply what we've learned to a real-world project. In this case, I'm going to create a golfing magazine cover. I'm going to bring in my text like this. Then I'm going to select my crop tool, and I'm going to crop this down to the proportions of the golf magazine cover, just like that. Then up here in the options bar, I'm going to make sure that this radial button is selected to hide the region outside of my crop. Then and only then I'll double click inside the crop region to give me my proportions of my magazine cover. Then let's bring back up from the edit menu the content aware scaling. So check this out. I can now design my cover interactively, bringing my golfers in and out like this. Let's go ahead and bring this up in size so we can see this just like this. And as you can see, I can bring more golfers in or fewer golfers in to my project. I can grab the lower portion here and have more sky, or grab my corner and start to create different variations for different designs for my cover. But wait, to finish this all off, I want to show you one final thing that's really fun. Here I have a Volkswagen minivan, and I want to use this feature to squish this down to a more economical sized car. If I bring up that feature again under the edit menu, content aware scale, check it out. Holding down my option or alt key, then scaling will scale from both sides. And I can squeeze the car down just like this. It's respecting the overall form of the car. And in fact, the wheels are remaining round as I squeeze this down. You can get it down here to a point just like that. Hit my enter key. And then let's reveal a second photograph here in my background. And you can see I've neatly taken this large car and squeezed it down in to fit perfectly into this small parking space. So there you've seen some great new capabilities with this new feature in Adobe Photoshop CS4 called Content Aware Scaling. Give it a try.